Hi guys, it's April, and I have a quick mid-month wrap-up for you guys. So I did a booktubeathon wrap-up which covered almost the first full week of this month. So this is only a little over a week worth of reading. I was debating on whether or not I was actually going to do this wrap-up, but at this point I figured I got enough books to talk about, so why not? So that is what this is going to be. I also wanted to tell you guys how amazing all of you guys are. I actually hit 4,000 subscribers on this channel just in this past week, and I'm thrilled and elated and in awe of the fact that so many of you actually are interested in hearing the words that I say. Thank you so much for subscribing. I am hoping to do a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. I haven't quite decided what I want to do in that giveaway. Give me ideas down below if you have any thoughts on any of that. I don't know how soon that'll happen, but I'm crossing my fingers that before the end of this year I hit 5,000. It could be a thing, but if I don't hit it, that could be a thing too. Just something that I guess I want to strive for because goals are important in life, I guess. But most of you guys are here to hear me talk about the books that I have read for this first half of the month that I am now going to talk about. The first books that I want to talk about are the last two owned manga by my face, and that is volume 8 and 9 of Ghost Hunt. This series has covered a whole range of supernatural haunting events. It follows an investigative team as they decide what is actually haunting the places, if it's actually haunted, and what they can do about it. It mostly centers around a young girl named May who accidentally stumbles into this whole group of people. I love it so much, and these last two volumes really starts to kick off the storyline that is going to later play out in the volumes that I sadly do not have in my possession. It gets really creepy at this point, and you get a lot of questions, especially around some of the main characters that I love so much, and you start to learn there's more to them than you've actually realized, which is why I like them so much. And if I had either the anime or the rest of this manga series, yes, that would be read. It'd be a thing that was in my life. Sadly, it is not. And then I told myself I was going to save Snapshot by Brennan Sanderson for a readathon because it is such a short, cute little book that it would be perfect for such an event, but I have absolutely no patience, so I picked this up and I read it, and oh my gosh, I loved it. This is the story about a machine that creates snapshots in time so that investigators can go to that point in time and investigate crimes that can be later used in trials in the current time. So this machine can reproduce any day, and it replicates these days down to the last detail. Now the investigators who go into these snapshots, they actually interact with everything around them, so they can start to create deviations in the timeline. Now these at the end of the day will completely erase, so it doesn't really have that big of an effect on the outside world, but for the cases they're trying to solve, it could have huge consequences. So you get to follow one of these investigators, Davis, as he goes throughout this day trying to get information to help certain cases and things. I can't give you more without spoiling it, so I'm gonna leave it there. I also finally finished the memoirs of Lady Trent within the Labyrinth of Drakes and within the Sanctuary of Wings by Marie Brennan. I did a review over this whole series if you want my in-depth thoughts about certain things, but overall, just following how Lady Trent became Lady Trent and all of the things that have happened in her study of dragons, all of the places that she's visited, I find amazing. This book right here, I absolutely adored, and part of it was because of the subtlety of the romance. The other part of it was everything that was going on and how Lady Trent handles herself in certain situations and how amazingly passionate she is. This is probably by far my favorite book in the series. And then this book happened. I'm not sure how I feel about this book yet because it takes on a twist that I like to hearken to the last of the Indiana Jones movies. Not wholly where I wanted it to go or feel was necessary, but it still is very much in the writing style of the rest of the series, which I loved. So I did enjoy it for that. It felt weird, I guess. And then last but not least, there was Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. This was a buddy read with Shayla. If you haven't checked out Shayla, I highly recommend that you do. This is the story of Theodosia, whose kingdom is overrun, and she is then forced to live in the castle with her enemies, slowly becoming integrated into all of their ways of thinking, but also being the beaten down symbol of what her people used to be. This story very much follows the line of YA tropes. I was wanting to love this book so much because names sometimes have a very powerful effect on me, and Theodosia is one of those names. Sadly, I didn't get anything that really excited me. A lot of it felt just very, very vanilla, and then there was times I was questioning the validity of why her enemies kept her alive in the first place. So yes, it was okay. Yeah, that's my thoughts. So those are the books that I have read since Booktubeathon ended. This rest of the month I know is going to be super, super exciting because there are projects that are going on right now that I'm hoping I will be able to talk about soon. Super excited about those. So tell me down below what you are most excited about in the next 2 weeks, if there's something you're excited about, or just what you are currently reading. I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.